Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eddie, and I'm here to do another reaction to the Vampire Diaries. This time it is Season 1, Episode 20, Blood Brothers. I feel like this is what I've been waiting for. I'm so excited, but I also can't express to you guys the level of anxiety I feel. For a few reasons, actually. It's funny because when I go back and I edit, because I'm much farther behind in the YouTube editing than I am here, and even when I just go back and I watch just kind of what I said in the beginning, just how much I kept thinking that this was a lighthearted show, and that's why it was more fun to watch. And lately that's not the case. It's still really fun to watch, but it's a thing for me. I don't know if this just affects me. I am the kind of person who I get emotional over characters and over things in shows. I feel very strongly both in good and bad ways just in general, but this has been a trip. This one is up there among the most I mean, there are a few shows that I'm like this with, and this is up there. I couldn't tell you where exactly, but it is. So far, I think it's just because I'm connecting. I'm really connecting with Stefan, and I've explained in the comments a little bit of why, and I just want to say, let you guys know how grateful I am to you guys for continuing to participate and to comment and to chat with me, because this is probably some of the most stimulating conversation I've had in a really long time. The friends that I've made recently in my life don't provide this as much, this kind of talk, and I crave it. And my family never has cared about talking, having deep conversations about literally anything. So, but I just wanted to thank you guys because both on Patreon, you guys have been so just respectful and willing to chat, and on YouTube I've been getting some seriously amazing comments that have been so nice and so sweet that they just inspire me to keep going, and that sometimes when I got my first dislike, which was a while ago now. I mean, I've only been doing this for a month and a half, but when I got my first one, I don't know why it affected me so much. I took it so much to heart, and now it's like why would I let a couple of dislikes stop me from appreciating all of the likes, of which there are so many more, and some of the things you guys have said to me have been so nice and so sweet, and I honestly, I can't explain to you how much it means to me. So let's get started on this. I'm extremely nervous because this show, in the last few episodes, you guys must think that I am the biggest wreck in the world, because it's episode after episode, and here I am sobbing and but I'm really excited about this, so let's go. Why am I so nervous?
Get him in.
Who is that?
We have to get to the church. They're waiting.
Please tell me he comes back. I'd be like, let all the vampires out. If they just told me,
Over here!
But Eddie, there's a cute vampire in there. I'd be like, okay, they can all come out.
Arm yourselves.
It's that easy. Okay, this answers one of the questions I've been having in my head, and I've been forgetting to ask for the last few episodes. Because I've been thinking about, wait a second, they didn't, because I just edited the one where they took her away the first time in the past, and we never actually saw them become vampires, and so I was like, wait a second, I'm missing something here, because this can't, she can't have just been taken away. They still need to become vampires. And literally, that was such a gaping hole in the information that I knew, that I have no idea why I haven't brought it up before now, but this is answering that, and I'm really happy about that. Who is that? Don't tell me it's their dad. Why, wait, why am I acting so surprised? Like, that wouldn't surprise me.
I love you, Stephen.
Ew. No, that I don't like that comparison right there. That was interesting, though, that she said it to Stefan and not Damon. Does it make me a bad person if I say he's hot when he's like that?
You're the one who locked them up.
You helped.
Stop that.
I couldn't have him running around
You guys had to
chewing
do
on
it.
people while the town was looking for vampires, now could I?
It had nothing to do with you actually caring about it.
Your thing, not mine.
Liar.
You had Catherine's blood in your system when you died.
No, I never...
She's been compelling you to drink it for weeks, Stefan.
Damon?
No compulsion was necessary.
Okay, so we've been, I think we've been told that before. I remember, well, not told it, but we've seen that he was compelled by Catherine in episode, I think it was, we saw it in episode 6, right? Lost Girls. She compelled him. I thought it was hot, but also gross. And then in the last flashback episode, I guess that was 13, we saw, Damon and Catherine were talking, and I think they actually said, or maybe I feel like we know that he wasn't being compelled. So I think this is an important difference. I haven't decided exactly what its significance is yet, but I have some ideas, but like him being, Stefan being compelled and Damon not being compelled. It was a little bit like she compelled him because I think she likes him more than she likes Damon, but Damon doesn't need to be compelled, which tells me he is the one of the two brothers that likes her. But she's choosing Stefan, and again, not Stefan's fault, but like I can see that being a sore point for Damon, probably makes him competitive and insecure. Again, though, I'd like to stress not Stefan's fault, but I can see that being an issue for Damon. I can understand why. He's really hot with the crazy eyes turned off.
Then they set fire to it. And the whole church went up into flames.
But she's not in there. How did you see her?
Killed her, Stefan.
Oh, that guard that's obsessed with her. Right.
You know what'll happen if you don't eat? You get all rotting and crusty.
I'm not hungry.
Of course you
He's
are.
punishing
We're
himself.
Eternally hungry. The human blood should be gone by now. You want to explain why you're still in here, feeling sorry for yourself?
He feels guilty,
Come on,
not sorry
drink
for
up.
himself.
Starve. All I care.
It's really nice of him to bring him something
Before I hang up, how'd you get this number?
he would approve
It's a
of.
mystery. Just say he's become a very proficient digger.
Did he find anything?
Well, I had him run a
Ugh,
track
I
on
love
John's
that
Cell
library.
Records. Did you get
Even though I
disconnected?
mostly listen to audiobooks now,
Isabel knows John.
that is a
Whatever, we knew
beautiful
that.
site.
Right, well, after that...
Isabel's in Grove Hill?
I don't know. I thought we could take a look, see what we find.
Perfect.
Give me the address.
Oh, so you can go without me?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure how much I care
Yeah,
about
well, you
finding
did kill
Isabel.
I'll
She
be right
seems
over,
completely
Stefan.
uninteresting
Extra broody. Hold on.
at best.
Done.
Selfish, for sure. Evil, maybe at
He won't
worst.
need anything.
We'll see.
What do you think your mother would say if she knew you were dating a vampire?
Which mother?
Boom!
Emily says it's our bodies pushing us to feed. To complete the transition.
It's not gonna happen.
So your
I
choice
just
then?
now realized that they were saying words.
Die instead.
This was all to be with Catherine. She's gone.
I'll have to go back and watch this part again later, but I'm pretty sure I got the gist.
How you feeling? Can't survive without it.
I don't want to survive.
What? What Don't say that.
I'm sorry, Elena.
How's he gonna forgive himself?
After what I've done, it has to end. I just want it over.
This actor, man, holy crap. I totally buy that
Why would he
deadpan
say
face.
He feels bad about hurting that girl. It's very typical Stefan martyr stuff. It will pass.
Will it? Because he seemed to be in a lot of pain.
Hold on, this is not him being a martyr. In no way do I get the impression that he is doing this for attention or to make a point or to rile up support or cause a movement. I mean, that's like the most literal definition of martyr, but like none of those reasons. This is not at all. He'd be doing this whether people are there or not to see him do it. That's the kind of person he is. And I think that this isn't me trying to be harsh on Damon, because I think that he knows this. Maybe not. But I think that people have a tendency to see quiet people who try to show strength because they are, deep down, they feel weaker than other people. People always tend to see them as like maybe haughty or like better than thou, holier than thou, like they're judgmental, and it's not at all. They just trust themselves less than other people trust themselves. That's all. And he is really being hard on himself, and it makes sense that he would, because he tried so hard and went to such extremes to never do this in the first place. Then when he does do it, it makes sense then that he would go to another extreme to punish himself. Just saying. Like, I don't think he's a martyr. He's just, I think he truly believes he doesn't deserve to live on and possibly hurt somebody again.
Very trusting of him, given the circumstances.
Stop that.
So are you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be leaving.
With my Gilbert charm, I know that you have a weakness for it.
Charm is not a word I would associate
Your mother
with
was
you.
in love with. I don't want Jenna to walk in on us.
Jenna's in the kitchen. She just opened the refrigerator.
You can hear that?
That's hilarious.
That is so cool.
You always have to be invited in.
By the owner or person of entitlement. Short-term rentals and hotels are a bit of a gray area. You kind of got to play it by ear.
Could we not kill him one
Interesting.
time, please?
You just brought me along for my
I
company.
wonder why that is. Ah,
Rick, we have company.
yeah. I can't see his face. Who is that?
Boys.
Damon? Name's Henry. You were in the tomb.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I got my wish. That lawn looks really perfectly mowed.
I want to make sure the
Oh, that's not a lawn.
Be sure you document the loss of civilian life in the church.
They were hardly. What are you doing? Get out of here.
No,
You're taking a stupid risk. I could hurt you.
that I'm stupid. You need to drink this.
I said get out!
No.
I love that. Look how hard he's working to convince himself that he is the monster he's fought against being this whole time. That was literally just now him trying to convince himself of that by convincing Elena of that. That was freaking fantastic. That was fantastic. He's lost faith in himself, and it's almost like daring you to lose faith so that he has his final confirmation, I guess. And that was like such a pivotal moment. I don't know if I can explain like the wrench that she just put in his attempt to do that. Wow, that was great. I wonder if one of the writers just has some experience with this, because this is really well written.
He loved you, and he hated himself for what he did to you.
Don't.
You're lying.
No. On his last days, he wrote how sorry he was.
He's not convincing. He's
You were the only
hideously,
woman he ever
like,
loved.
creepy.
God.
She believes it because she wants it to be true.
Vampires. You're so emotional. Jonathan Gilbert hated you. His only regret was that he didn't drive a stake through your heart himself.
Damn. That was pretty cruel.
What?
You were there when we were shot?
I pulled the trigger myself.
Yeah.
You killed your own sons?
You were both dead to me the moment you sided with the vampires.
I haven't turned yet. I don't want to. I'm going to let myself die, Father. Please.
Yes, you are.
Wow. So he still
Oh, I didn't mean to.
came to say goodbye to his dad after deciding to die.
How can you even look at me right now?
You need to be able to talk about these things, Stefan.
Oh,
I need
God.
to hear them. Come upstairs. We can talk about it.
He's been
more.
carrying that
Keep
shame
talking as long as you
all
need.
these years. Wow. Over something that like
Oh, when you feel this.
that like literally he made no conscious like choice to do. That wow. That's a heavy thing he's carrying.
She had this excitement in her eyes. I probably should have known there was something different about her. Tidy Catherine.
She looked a little
That's enough, Damon. I don't want to hear anymore.
frantic and obsessed to me.
I just don't want to waste any more. I'm through with Isabel.
Good for
I'm
you,
done
actually.
with all of this.
I like that choice. You know how hard it is sometimes to admit that you don't actually want the answers you thought you did? Good for him.
Hey, I was wrong to think that we could make a home here. It's time for us to move on.
But I don't want to move on. I want to
Is
stay.
this the last episode we'll be
can't
seeing Perlin?
stay.
She gonna die, huh?
What have you done, Stefan?
Damon.
Is this him not
I've been
wanting
Father.
to be alone
He can't
without
I didn't know my own strength.
Damon?
There was blood everywhere. He was dying. I can move like it's magic. And the guilt, the pain. Damon, I can turn it off like a switch. Catherine was right. It's a whole nother world out there, Damon.
This is exactly why he doesn't ever want to have it again, isn't it?
There's no world.
He,
No, you can turn
he
that
knows
off
he's
too.
weaker.
You don't. I won't let you die. No, I can't. Don't fight it. We can do this together.
I should not be turned on. I should not be turned on. You guys. Is he gonna try and kill himself? I mean, that answers some questions for sure. And explains some more resentment of Damon towards Stefan. But like everybody has been saying, it changes you, and he clearly is weaker. It makes so much sense that he wouldn't want to drink, like, that he'd want to survive on animal blood, which he has been doing. He's been surviving on it. It's not like... So this brings up a really good point about need versus want. You don't need human blood to live on, because he's done it for 145 years, unless we'll find out later that eventually he will just like stop like living as well and he'll die by doing that. But I don't see why that would start happening now after this many years. So you can live on, you just gain abilities and feel better and like with human blood, but it doesn't have to be. So like that's not a choice that has to be condemned by him. He's trying his best not to do that again because he knows he's weaker than Damon is. He's weaker than other vampires apparently are when he has human blood, and you know, that sucks. It's a horrible thing, but like I don't see why that would condemn him for, like, that is what makes him a different person. It doesn't change the person he is, because the person he's trying to be and the person he chooses to be is the person he is. Your choices are what matter, not anything else about you. Your choices, and he makes a conscious choice every day He made a really bad decision, like, recently because of very extenuating circumstances, and now he's so upset about it, he's going to try and kill himself? Like, nothing about this tells me that he's not a good person. He's a really good person. So much so that he hates the person that blood makes him become. That right there tells you that's not who he is. That's a person he sees and hates. And self-reflection is the most important part of being a good person, in my opinion. Like, if I can recognize what I am, I can change, I can be better. But if you can never admit it, if you can never say sorry, if you can never apologize or feel guilty, then we have a real problem. What are you doing?
Because even in death, your heart is pure, Stefan. I sense that about you. That will be your curse.
Emily, wait.
The hell of a curse. Nobody can punish you as hard as you
Damon,
as you
tell
can.
me the rest of the story.
Nobody.
I should have died that night.
But you didn't. And if you die now, it's not gonna change what happened.
Yes, that's so
Every single
freaking
person
true.
that's been, every single life that's been lost is because of me.
You can do so much good now, though.
You made a choice to be good,
No,
Stefan.
please don't do that.
That's the person who jumped in the water to save the family whose car had driven off
Please
the bridge.
don't make this all okay.
That's the person who saved my life.
It hurts me knowing what I've done, and that pain is with me all the time. And every day I think that if I just give myself over to the blood, I can make that pain stop. It would be that easy, and every day I fight that.
Or you could take this ring and put it on and keep fighting.
I have so many chills right now. This is amazing. Fantastic.
It's your choice.
Elena.
That look on her face. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, shit. That was so good. The look on her face right there. This was fantastic acting from both of them, but that look on her face when she walked away, it's not like that stereotypical walk away where it's like you're saying goodbye and there's like the single tear. You could see on her face that she knew she had to make him know I've told you what you need to hear and it is your choice, because the only way it's going to stick is if it's his choice. But she was so she was so scared that he'd make the one where he dies. And you could see that she did not want that. Great. This is, oh my god, this show, I swear, so good. I knew it.
Everything on this planet is not your fault. My actions, what I do, it's not your fault. You were not allowed to feel my guilt.
You feel guilt?
Guilt?
If I wanted to, it's there.
Little glimpse? Only good
Catherine
people
with
feel
her
guilt.
spell.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't want you to know. Because I hated you, and I still do.
No, you don't.
I know.
But not because you forced me to turn.
And why?
Because she said she loves Stefan to him and not Damon.
Because she turned you.
He's jealous. He doesn't hate him. Who did it? Oh.
Hello, Rick.
No. No.
Isabel.
Really? No. I don't think I like her. Oh, man. Okay, so, I love that episode. I really love that episode. There is some just stellar writing in this, and not just writing, acting, and I'm sure directing. I don't know how big, I'm sure it plays a big role as well, but it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between, what the directing got right, what the acting got right, and what the writing got right. But I'm sure it's a combination of all three. The revelation about, because I was wondering how they turned, because we hadn't seen Catherine do it yet. This didn't feel quite so much like a twist, because I don't think I personally have been making any assumptions about how this went down. To me it was like just up in the air information that could fall however, and it would just be like new information to me, not like a twist on information I thought I had already. But it's definitely a surprising revelation that it was Stefan who, so he went back to see their dad, had made the decision to die. I think both brothers had made that decision, yeah. And went back to see the dad to say goodbye, I guess. The dad was a shithead, as, not a surprise. Totally called that he was the one that shot them. But I think, let's say this, that dad has always treated Damon way worse. So if, let's say it had been Damon who had gone back to see the dad, I don't think that would have gone the same, because he would have been like, yeah, you're a shithead to me, you don't like me, what else is new? But you could see on Stefan's face, it's like, oh my god, I've always thought that you loved me. I don't think that he ever really loved either of them, to be fair. I think that he has expectations and expectations for them and ideas about them, and he's projected this good image onto Stefan and bad one onto. I don't think he's ever really it's never been about who his sons are and loving them just because they're his sons. Otherwise, he'd love them both. I'm sure that came as a really big blow to him, whereas Damon is used to that. And that's sad for both of them. That's so sad. What a horrible person that dad was. Also, not really surprised that the reason that Damon says he hates Stefan is less about Stefan making the decision for them to to make the transition, and more about that moment, which felt big to me when it happened, that she was saying I love you to Stefan, who she'd been compelling, and not to Damon, who'd been making the conscious choice to be with her. I think that Damon says that he hates Stefan for that, but I think he knows deep down that Stefan didn't do anything to hurt Damon on purpose, and wouldn't have made the choice for that to happen, never wanted to hurt Damon that way. I think he knows that. I think he's just really hurt, and I think his real anger should be at Catherine. Right now, it feels to me like Catherine walks around the world causing so many lives to be destroyed, and for people to hate each other and to feel certain amounts of fear and obsession with her. So many people have been obsessed with her, even though they've only mentioned a few of them, but the fact that in the sample size of people we know have interacted with her, that many of them have been obsessed with her, there's no way that won't translate into a larger number of people, just because of the way she probably treats the people around her. It's probably a personality thing where it's infectious. You want to be around her, and people gravitate towards her. It's one of those things. Elena seems to have something of that too. It makes sense, they're related. And we saw that with Caroline. Like, Caroline always was saying, like, why does everybody, like, want to be around Elena? She doesn't even try. I think I'm still right about it being partially because that's why, like, the harder we try, the less people, like, the less, like, the harder you hold on to people, the less they want to be around you, you know? Like, the harder you try, the less. There was a quote from a show, and it was like, you'd be surprised how often you get invited to the party when you don't want to go. That's freaking true. Maybe it also has something to do with this relation to Catherine. Like, this, there's something about them in their genes. They're just really, I don't mean like a magical thing. I just mean like a personality trait or something that they have in common that, like, people just gravitate towards them. And, you know, that's not their fault, but it sucks. It's hard for the people around them to watch. But we all know people like that, I'm sure. And for Damon to be watching, you know, that happened to Stefan. This didn't make me feel any different about Stefan, but it did change the way I feel about Damon a little bit. Especially that moment at the end where he almost admitted to having some guilt. Now, he did kind of admit to it, even if he might walk it back now, but, like, you know, he said, you don't get to feel my guilt or whatever. And I wonder if Stefan has been, like, kind of feeling guilt, like, putting the guilt of what anything that Damon's ever done on himself, because he's the one who made Damon make the transition. I'm confused why that would have upset him. I guess it didn't. I guess they did answer that. Because he was fine with becoming one when Catherine was going to turn him, but so that's not what, they did answer that, never mind. It's not that Stefan made that choice. And Stefan must have been thinking this whole time that that's why he was mad, but it's not. He's mad because it was supposed to be just him. Like, there's so much miscommunication between these two. So many assumptions, actually, is what I would say. Not even miscommunication, just assumptions. About who's to blame, who's at fault, why I did this, why he did this. And they've never talked it out. Makes a lot more sense. A lot more sense. And yet isn't surprising. Like, that's good writing, because it's like, yeah, no, this is the story I've known all along now. Like, it just fits. It fits, and yet is new information at the same time. I think my biggest issue with Damon up until this point has been that I haven't seen him regret anything he's done yet. Because I can't sympathize or feel like somebody's a good person if they don't regret any of the bad things that they've done. You can do bad things and be a good person. It depends on why you did them and how you feel about them afterwards. Like, it doesn't condone them or make them any better. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, who you want to be makes a difference. Who you pretend to be makes a difference. And I love that we got this from him. I love it. Also, I love that it was Elena who did not back down. Like, I didn't I say last time, she has this habit of, like, because I'm just so used to protagonists in stories, in shows in general, and movies, you know, making, I don't want to say bad choices, but, like, just choices that make situations worse all the time, even though they're trying to do good things, like, or their heart's in the right place, but they just seem to always make bad decisions. And she really showed some strength and some fortitude and resolve. Oh my gosh. And she did not let him use her as that final confirmation that he was the monster he thinks he is. I am so happy. I'm so happy that he's okay. And now, if she feels the need to run off with Damon, like, I'll be, like, more okay with it. I'm still not gonna like it, but, like, I'll be more okay with it. Like, literally, I just was so stressed. I wanted Stefan to be okay. Now the story can move on. I'm missing some characters. I'm missing Caroline a lot, and Matt. We saw Caroline in the last one, but we haven't seen Matt in a minute. And Bonnie, I miss Bonnie. I think you guys know how much I love Bonnie. I've said it so many times, but I'm nervous about Bonnie. She's my favorite character, but the character that I identify, like I can feel myself in, like I can just really put myself in their shoes, just for me personally, is Stefan. So I'll be heartbroken if she comes for me. I don't want to see my favorite character come for me. That won't make me feel like shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm a monster if Bonnie says I'm a monster. But I think Caroline's making a play for her favorite character too. I love her too. But I'm anxious to see like where they're at, what they're doing. Because not seeing Bonnie makes me even more nervous. Like, what's happening? What's she doing? Is she gonna show up for another moment like that last one to defeat the evil villain Stefan? Clearly she's learned some things, in the first time she was away, so I'm nervous. What is she doing? I need to know. Her family is very powerful, and Emily, oh, I love what Emily said to Stefan. It's exactly what I had been saying like literally a minute before that. She could tell that Stefan's a good person. All of the witches that he's come in contact could tell that. Contact with. Bonnie knew it. Bonnie's grandma knew it. Apparently Emily knew it. And so Emily didn't need to do anything to Stefan or kill him or end this curse or anything. She knew that no one was going to be able to punish Stefan like Stefan could. And the thing about that is when characters and when anybody punishes themselves, they're not seeing that they might not like how they got to where they are. They might feel guilty, they might have shame. But killing yourself over it does literally no good. It just ends the story, but you have an opportunity to maybe use the unique perspective you have and the unique abilities that are combined with that unique perspective to do some real good and make some real change and turn an ugly chapter into a positive story. I think that's what we're going to see. I think that the key is for the brothers to talk and to forgive each other, and then maybe they'll forgive themselves. And then I think together they have these pieces of a puzzle that kind of fit perfectly together and make maybe exactly the right tools you would need to make a really good difference. Like Stefan's steadfast moral kind of compass, like the way the person he knows he wants to be is so sure, and then Damon has a more like that side that is like, well, you gotta just like kind of that it's like two extremes, like punish yourself, unapologetic, and like that's I don't mean that like, and that's not me saying that Damon feels no guilt and that Stefan hasn't ever been like any other way than this now. But what I mean is that there are two extremes and they need to kind of meet in the middle. Like Stefan cannot be trying to kill himself, trying to punish himself for every freaking little thing, and Damon kind of needs to rein it in sometimes. Like use that crazy for good. Like I like it when he does that. So I think if they come together, they will fit. The pieces will come together as well, and they'll fill in exactly what the other one is missing. That's so cool. That is so freaking cool. I almost wish there were no relationships involved right now, because I feel like it turns everything into like a competition, and it makes people feel like if they like one, they have to not like the other. And I don't think that that should be the case, because a relationship has to, you know, somebody has to be chosen, and everybody was rooting for the one who gets to be chosen. Like, I don't want to do that. I almost wish it wasn't a thing, because I think I would just prefer right now to focus on the brothers' relationship. And by the way, like, I apologize. I should not have been so turned on by that moment. I mean, they're not brothers in real life. Give me a break. I'm fine. Just kidding. This was great. I think this might be one of my favorites. I've liked so many episodes now that it's hard to keep track, but I feel like it's one of my favorites. I wanted to say my favorite, but I can't think like clearly enough about what episodes I've seen now. Yeah, I'm excited to, what is there, only 2 episodes left? Oh my god. Oh my god. And Isabel's back? Ugh. I don't even care. I don't think I'm gonna end up liking her. I could be so wrong. I've been so wrong before, so we'll see. I just don't get that impression from her face. And what she did to Alaric, like bringing it back to this is why I didn't like Bella Swan. Like, just so not appreciative of the life and family you have, that you are willing to like abandon the people who've never done anything, always treated you well and like love you and like just want you to love them back, and you just freaking abandon him. And she has a daughter. Like, when did the daughter happen? That's the thing I need to know, because she couldn't have turned right away, because vampires can't reproduce. So she would have had to gotten pregnant by somebody. My guess is this Gilbert guy who's hanging around now. No, hopefully not. No, it would be his brother or something, right? No. He's just kidding. She's not a Gilbert, or is she? Maybe she's Jeremy's cousin. No, ew, please no. Ew, please no. So she must have gotten pregnant at some point and then become a vampire. Like, probably, I'm sure after she had the baby. Like, I don't. What happens if you become a vampire while you're pregnant? I'm assuming the baby would die because you died. But like, does it become something else? Would that be like a mega vampire? I don't know. Oh my god. Well, anyway, thank you guys, and I'm so stoked for the next one. I'm also really stoked to hear what you guys have to say about this one, and I have a feeling it's just like these last 2 aren't going to be any less stimulating than these past 4 have been. So at least this one didn't make me sob, though. I got a little teary, but like, that's good. That's really good. I'll see you guys next time.